We've been coming here for a long time. Many of you are first time. First time, how many of you first time? 2, 3. So 3 of you first time. Today I was just coming to here and I heard it on the radio. There is the guy in New York Times, one of the reporters, wrote a book called Road to the Character. The Road to the Character. And his name is David Brooks. And I found it quite interesting because he was talking about now is the time for changing character. And this was only yesterday he launched the book, and Australia straight away picks it up. We want to change the character, is new thing. And the whole decades and years went past and went on to various things, what financial crises are, and they happen because of the greed, and, they're not character building, virtues people have used. And suddenly this person comes and starts about changing character. And I just realized this place where you come to started with that gentleman called, his name was Dada Lekhraj in 1937. And he decided to change his character in 1937. Not only wrote a book, but he changed his character, he inspired, and so many people. And now in our community, there are about 900,000 people who practically working of changing their character. So I thought it was quite amusing to hear that someone now in 2015 thinking character changing and being virtuous is a thing to go. It's a cool thing. And everyone interviewing him in New York on the, talkback radio, where did you, this is the right thing to do now, So today's topic is willpower. So you must use willpower, aren't you? Do you remember when you use your willpower? Would like to share? When did you use? Smoking. Oh, that's good. Anyone has used eating chocolates? No? Huh? You have. And what you have done to?
I gave up. I don't have any dairy.
Yeah. But you given up chocolate eating, yeah. And the reason why and how you managed it?
Health.
Mm-hmm.
So just concentrate on, even though my mind thinks that I want to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need it. The outcome is better.
So you decided, yeah, it was a big decision to make things happen. Is that okay for everyone? Can you do that for chocolate? No. So why one person decided to give up so easily, and one person saying, all of us, I have a problem also sometimes. But how is one person give up and one person can't, you know? Yeah. But you are good at vegan, chocolate. Are you bad at something else? No comment. Well, I think what I'm getting at is everyone has got some good, things they can make decisions somewhere better and other places not. Do you agree with that? Yeah. I mean, some, sort of top executives make fantastic decision of millions and billions of dollars. But when they come home, they can't decide on small things. And their wife tells you, oh, can't you do that? It's so easy, How is that? You must have fine with your husbands or partners. Is it? Am I right? Some cases you can make decision better and your partner can make decision better. Why is it? Oh, yeah, you have tried it and you've always done those decisions in that area. In some areas you haven't practiced it. It's no different. It's simple as your body organs, right? If you haven't used the hand, you won't know how to, lift heavy weight. The same thing. People have make decision in certain area every day, and other areas they don't know how to make decision because they haven't practiced. Is that right? Yeah. So let's look at the simple one way to look at it. What is the process of decision making? How it happens? Now that you talked about chocolate, let's try with what happens. So you will know exactly how things are happening and when you stop making decisions. When a thought comes, what happens of chocolate? Cravings, the feeling comes. Yeah. So immediately feeling comes, and what you do with that feeling? Act on it. So you go straight to action. And this is, I'm talking about chocolate, okay? Where does that come? Before, if you're saying no, or if you, I never experienced headache myself. So this is feeling come, you go straight to action, or what you do? You know what you. Yeah. So you make the decision in between. Yes or no? Okay. And when you say yes, act. Okay. And after the action? You feel great? Regret. Let's take the majority view here. No, they are all saying no. No regrets. Agree? No regrets? No regrets. So you go in the no regret, tick mark, and this is your memory box, okay? It goes in, this is great experience. Very happy with it. And your next thought comes from that experience. So if you haven't had a chocolate, you won't have that experience. Am I right? Then again, after a few days pass, you got the same feeling. Thought comes of chocolate and you have a feeling. You go through the same process. Another tick mark. So after a few days, what's going to happen? Patterns is formed. And then what happens? It goes into habit. So you go feeling straight to habit. Okay. And we are forming those habits all the time, every day. Every thought we are forming or stopping forming. When you say no, what happened to you? When you said no to the chocolate, you stop having. You made a decision, and then now you have. It's easy. So now your situation that you have a feeling of chocolate comes from the past, and you go habits say no, and you don't go into action, and you go straight here. Vegan chocolate. Still, you are eating chocolate. No difference. I think this is cheating. A little bit of cheating. I think use the word vegan. Yeah, I think it's. I think I was quite impressed with you earlier on. I lost. So anyway, we are at the decision. So we habit. What happens after some times when you're making this thing, going from straight feeling to habit and action? What's going to, huh? Yeah, but what happened to this process, this box here, decision? You don't use it, do you? Okay? So if you don't use it, what's going to happen? If you don't use your hand, you don't use it, you lose it. So you lose your decision-making power. This is a power, right? Agree with me? You need a power to make decision, and then that is called willpower, right? And you lose it. Lose that power. Is that okay? It's not okay, but you lose it. You lose it. What happens when you lose your muscular power? Or, when I had a heart attack, I had lost my ability to walk for long distance and exercise. So what they did to me, they put me in rehab. So if you're not using your decision-making power, what you have to do? Rehab. Get into rehab. Rehab. What and they did at heart rehab? You have to pick up small pillow, 1 kilo, and you pick it from one side and walk 10 feet away on the table and put it there. Then again pick it up, just 1 kilo, small pillow like half the size, quarter size, put it here. And these are all old people, huh? 60, 70 people walking around the tables, tiny pillow. I laughed when I went, even though I had a heart attack. But, why they're doing this, I didn't realize about the next day, 2 kilos. And after week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, into 5 kilos. And after 6 weeks, we were lifting 10 kilos. So in that, what happened? Retraining. This thing, willpower and belief in your heart and activity become strong. Willpower. Make sense? So if you want to, now this is, we call, this box which makes decision, we call intellect. You heard this word before, anyone? What does it mean? It's not it's not intellectual. It's not something you learned. That's what I'm saying. This is a different word. In Hindi, it's called buddhi. Buddhi means wisdom. Buddha is called Buddha because he became wise. That's what the word comes from, buddhi. So he became wise. Why he became wise? Because he could make right decision, and he's become wise. He could make right decision for himself, and he could see things clearly. In Raj Yoga, we call divine intellect. Its intellect has become purified and it makes decision correctly. Does that make sense? Correctly means, you know what correct decision is? Now you made the decision for vegan for some reason, but correct decision is when you make a decision here, before making decision, you know where my thoughts coming from. If I'm having chocolate decision, my thoughts of chocolate came from past lot of eating of chocolate. I know that. And if I do the same decision again, it won't help me health-wise. It will go back to this box as a bad experience. Okay? And once it goes into memory box, you can't take it out. Makes it clear? But I know it here before making decision. Whatever I entertain, it will go back. If I put it in action, it will go back in memory as a wrong memory. And then my next thought will be of chocolate. I know it beforehand. So, yeah, I know the consequences of my actions before I put that thought into action. Isn't that wise, isn't it? That's what the wisdom is. You don't get into trouble. And we don't want to get into trouble, do we? And chocolate trouble is big trouble once you start eating. You can't stop it. Getting a lot of yes from this side. Okay, so you got that? So what we want strength in decision making. Now, how are you going to get that? Do you want it or not? Yeah. How are you going to get strength in your intellect? That means you have to increase your willpower, power of the will to decide and say no when you want to, or say yes when you want to. Because your whole life is whole life, entire life, what you do in your life, where you go in your life is entirely dependent on just this box here, intellect. And if you strengthen that box solidly, you can make right decision. What happens? Right decision, right action, right experience. So if you have positive decision, positive action, positive experience, result into what? Positive experience result into positive thoughts coming. Because all our thoughts come from our past experiences. So idea is to put as many positive experiences you can throw in this box, memory box, that many positive thoughts. If you have a positive week, next week likely to be positive. If you have a negative day, next day will be negative. Because, you know, it's just natural thing. Is it okay? So now intellect, how do you make it strong in rehab? Any idea? Anything. How do you make your practice? How do you make body strong? Exercise. So body, if you want to make it strong, you have to exercise. And what else do you have to do? Body to make it healthy. Yeah, you need those qualities to make it strong, but what actually you have to do? Eat properly, yeah. Exercise, good food. And what else? Willpower, that's what we're talking about, to making strong. What we have to do. Don't body need to rest, good sleep. There's a certain amount of sleep is necessary to make you work better. Rest. Hmm? Check, yeah. You can check. You have to practice or check yourself how you're going. That's necessary. So let's look at this intellect, which is as a fine instrument. Okay, it is fine because it has to make fine decisions in your life, whether to marry this person or not marry this person. Is that difficult decision sometimes? And sometimes we make it blindly without thinking about it, do you? It has to make, because it affects the whole life. If the fine decisions had to be made by this box. Look at it as a sort of finely tuned instrument, okay? And if we use finely tuned instrument at putting rubbish into it, will it work? So if we use that instrument like this, okay, this is where you make the decision, isn't it? And if you abuse it, don't rest it, put lot of input, like talkback radio, this, that, television, different program, all the time you're putting different information. You're not giving rest, okay? So what's going to happen to your intellect? Start going slow and make decision fast. Is that okay? So what you had to rest your intellect in your rehab, reduce input. Rest is reduce input. That's the first step. Okay. What will be good food for the intellect? Positive thought. Positive thought and act positively, and action, and exercise. What will be good exercise for intellect? Meditation, yeah. Rest, meditation, because that's a good thing. Keep your intellect quiet, finely tuned. Okay? And you have to do that. You have to actually practice. If you can practice for just 2 weeks and reduce at least 25% of the input for your intellect, you'll find the benefit straight away. Some of the benefit. Your intellect will start working, making decisions slightly better than if you have a lot of things happening in your life. Our children used to come late when they're teenagers, and they used to say that, oh, just my friend getting wasted. You know what wasted is? I think now they don't. Yeah? What is it? Yeah. Oh, just experience. What's the matter if I go and experience? But any experience, for experience sake, what happens to your finely tuned instrument? Does it work next day? So if you are going to use your instrument for next day for some important decision, you have to look after it. The more you look after your intellect, your willpower will grow. you start making decision slightly better, not straight away. And other ways of doing it, other way to look at it as your your instrument, this instrument, it's like a fine musical instrument. You know how musical instruments work? They have notes. And if I'm not finely tuned, what happens? And someone who is finely tuned musician, what's the difference between the two? Me and finely tuned instrument, musician. If the notes are from 1 to 10, I can choose that tune is 6, okay? Because I don't have 1 to 100 measurement. But someone is finely tuned, he will say, oh, not 6, it's 63. Exact. And if you can find your intellect to make, what exactly the decision level is, you'll make right decision. How elephants, when they cross the bridge, they check the steps of the bridge by their nose, they discern, they knock on exactly. And if the slightest, doubt, they don't cross. So that's what, because their whole life, once they fall, finish. They can't get up, that. So that's what our decision making also lies many times. And then we have to work very hard to correct our decision, Because so that's other way to make willpower strong. And you must have done that. All of us has done that. When you have made your willpower strong, you have made your willpower strong. You're determined in your life. Yeah, something you really wanted to do. I had to go when I was only 15 or 14. I wanted to go to London to study. 2 years I saved 7,000 rupees, which is lot of money in 2 years. I worked day and night, and you must have, many of you done, if you want to go on to holiday or something. We do 2 jobs, 3 jobs to save the money. So what makes you do that? Yeah, motivated by the outcome. So you need to have a goal, aim, or goal. And it doesn't matter how small that goal is. I think it's better, if you want to improve your willpower, pick up a small aim and goal. You want to change something in your life. It could be anything, health or walking. Go for a walk if you want to become healthy. Half an hour walk if you want to do it. You make that aim. And there is a small principle called SMART. Some of you may have known that. Do you know that, anyone? Your goal has to be specific. So if you want to walk for 40 minutes or 30 minutes for health reason or your own benefit, you decide you want to achieve that 30 minutes walk in 2 months. So specific goal. But when you are approaching that goal, pick the goal that I'm going to walk 10 minutes only. So goal has to be measurable. And then 10 minutes, I know that I can achieve it. So what's going to happen? I got 10 minutes goal. I know that I can walk. It has to be really, this is really want to. I'm not doing for my partner or friend or my mother. I want to do it for me because I want to get healthy. And it has to be time specific. The 2 month time, I will finish that. So that's smart way to reach the goal. So if you finish walking 10 minutes and over 2 months achieve 30 minutes, what's going to happen? Yeah, but what happened to your willpower? Stronger. Yeah. So once you have a small goal like that, then pick up another goal. And as you pick up small, many goals, then you can, get rid of smoking cigarette or which are difficult goals. Is that okay? Yeah, you can change any habits, but don't go to the habits which are very difficult for you to change. Don't go there. First, pick up the small, insignificant habit to change. And once you get used to changing habit, then it's natural. It's like a challenge. Road to character, he said, road to, changing your life. And that's enjoyable because you know that I can do it. There's no fear and failure. Normally, as soon as we try to do something difficult, we can't get there. What happens? You lose, yeah, you lose hope and you lost the impetus. Okay, so you can make small list of what you want to change, and best thing is to get on with it. Otherwise, what will happen? No, it's information is come. You got the information unless you practice it. Yeah, yeah, lose the motivation unless you practice it. It just stays in this room. We all know it, but we haven't got it. Okay, is that all right time wise? Any questions? Anything? Any doesn't matter. Any kind of. Mm. Anything you feel is you have a situation you want to change and can't change, or it's okay. Whatever you want to ask, it's all right. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is happens. Yeah, but again, what happens if you're trying to stop and you go back to it? Because habits are built over long period of time. So to get rid of it also is not like that. Yeah. So that's what we call you need to have a faith. If who has created that habit? Yeah, I have created, so I can get rid of it. And that faith in myself is most important. And then other thing you need to have patience. Patience in myself. That it's okay. My partner and me used to have many habits used to come. We separated for 10, 15 years. Then we got together, after working individually. And even then, we were not sure that, old habits will come up. And they did come up. It's not that they didn't come up because we worked on ourselves and then we're teaching together and all that. But one thing we decided, they come up, we knew that they come up and it will go away. We never given energy to that. Why? And old age, if we come up, you start fighting. Go on, we just separate it. That's come up. We understood it and we recognized it. So don't go into why it has come. Why am I, if I fail? No, it will come up now and then. But every time I come, it will lose its energy. Okay. Thank you.